you agree with the government that defence spending must go up, but you've written today it must hit 3% of national income by the end of this by the end of the decade, and that would be a huge increase. Absolutely. Even though the percentages sound like they're quite small, but that would be a very significant increase. Where would you be willing to cut from public services that people already enjoy, or things that people rely on, or potentially raise tax in order to get that extra money? I suspect you're not going to go for the raising tax.
So this is a fundamental question. When I was in cabinet, we talked about getting to 3% by 2030, and we couldn't make the numbers work. We need to find a way to make the numbers work because the world is changing very quickly. And with things like defence, you can't make a decision at the last minute. It takes years, well beyond Parliament, to actually get the equipment produced. People will not start making the equipment unless they know we're going to spend the money. We're not ordering dresses here. We're ordering tanks, missiles, new technology that is not even on the books yet.
So where do you get the money from?
So that requires, fundamentally, economic growth. And the problem we have now is that what Labour is doing is reducing growth, not increasing it.
But where would you get the money from?
I'm speaking now about what the economy needs. I am not in the government. We will help them to get there. But what I'm not going to do is make spending plans when we don't have access to the books anymore. We've talked about making savings on development. I'm very pleased that the Prime Minister now agrees with me. I remember when he was in Jeremy Corbyn's cabinet and they were talking about disbanding NATO.
But if you want to get to 3%, you'd have to be willing to look at other
options.
Yes,
of course we have to.
And you said you support the government.
Yes, of course we have to. But what I'm not going to do is make policy on the fly. This sort of thing requires real thinking. Let's start looking at what we can do. It's not about making an announcement on breakfast TV. It's about us setting up task forces, looking at the economy. What can we do?
But your shadow defence secretary told us last week that you should look at welfare in order to make savings.
Yes, and I said that in my letter to Keir Starmer as well. But that's not going to deliver what could be up to 100 billion. We have to look seriously at our whole economy, how it is wired, how we do procurement. We should be looking perhaps at 10-year budgets for defence, so that we're not just looking at what's going to happen till the next election, but much longer term. That's something that I'm willing to work with the Prime Minister on.